Shit.
Welcome, everybody, to the Daily High on this Thursday evening, Thursday morning, with your hosts, Matt McGregor and Tone Vase. Wow, much to do about nothing. We're back where we were 2 days ago, rather than being where we were yesterday. Tone, how are you, mate?
I'm good. I'm good. Still here in Panama.
Nice one.
Shit. I don't know where that's coming from. Hold on.
I can't hear anything.
There we go. I got it.
Awesome. Look, we were a little bit earlier tonight than normal. Tone's got to do something. He wouldn't tell me what it is. It must be very important. So let's just smash through this, and I'll go first. Hell, I'll go first. Doesn't matter. All right. So I said in yesterday's show, it's fantastic that we've had this pump, but I'm a little concerned that we've just pumped the exact amount that we dropped. I think the price was a little even lower last night. It was about here when we did the show, and about here I reckon 69,500, and I said, yeah, great. We're just back where we were. We need to clear this zone here, which we absolutely didn't do. We just didn't do it. And then when the FOMC, which Tone will talk more about, came out, he did a show on it this morning, which I haven't seen yet. But it just came rejected right back to the point that it was at the day before. So it's Groundhog's Day. What is it? Deja vu all over again here. But we're back in this range. All right. So it is what it is. I probably foolishly doubled the position last night just after the show and spent the whole day underwater. I'm still at 1,000 squid underwater here, in terms of the percent position from where I entered. Um, but I'm staying in the trade. We just came up just before the show back to my sort of almost near break even point. I didn't trade this very well. I'll be the first to admit it, but we'll see what happens. If we start to come back down below 67, I'll have to admit defeat. In fact, many times today I almost did admit defeat, but I didn't for one reason. So I'm going to jump straight from the 4 hour time frame to the weekly time frame right now, and we'll fill in the gaps. This is why I didn't admit defeat, which I'm happy to do. Don't get me wrong, because on the weekly time frame, I'm still feeling really, really good. With 3 days and 11 hours left, we're above every single moving average. We came back down, retested the 7 simple moving average here. I like that. Last week we had the second highest weekly close of all time. I'm not ready to consider this as a done thing right now. I mean, why should we? Why should we? It's ridiculous to think so. Sure, it's possible we come crashing down, but I don't even want to entertain those thoughts. I think that we got a real chance to kick off here. I simply do. I saw Chris Dunn had a really good tweet. I think he might have been looking at the daily time frame where we've had 7 attempts to break out of this $70,000 range at this point. 7 attempts have banged on the door and got harshly rejected. I don't know how long the damn wall can hold at 70,000 without us finally kicking through. And I want to be bloody long when that door is kicked in. That's all I can say about that. 12-hour time frame. Okay, we're below the moving averages here. Not getting a read on the 12-hour time frame. There's nothing for me here. Just in the middle of the range. I will say one thing, which is, well, I'll go to the 15-minute time frame. This is what I'm really interested in. Right now, we're running a beta test live with about 25 people for Bangbox to come back. So, I mean, not Bangbox was not just to come back as a fully automated bot, this bot right here. So, we're in the process just working out all the kinks. Like even here, it entered this trade here, it ran up, and then you got out here and avoided this. That's the last trade it's made. But it's not even. It wouldn't even be making these trades because the wave is red. We turn the bot off when the wave is red, but we're just testing it now because we're so near to the wave actually turning green again. We want the bot live and active by the time the wave turns green, and I'm really excited about this. So I can't wait to share it with you guys. So I'm coming back off screen share right now. I got nothing to say too much except for please look out for this bang box once we get. We'll probably do a week of beta testing. Just make sure that it's perfectly smooth. And I put it on today, and it was just an absolute dream to put on. Once you get the APIs connected, you can just add the bot like 3 clicks of a button. Choose what if you want to do USDT margin trading or coin margin trading. It's just a piece of cake. Before you go, Tone, please like and subscribe. Please share it with your friend. Please use the affiliate links in the description below and join the Discord group because if you don't want to use a bot, we will fire those black box signals in its own private group there. But I recommend putting a couple $100 in the bot and just let the thing run. Take it away. I'm phasing out trading altogether as soon as I can. As soon as I got all my bots, a sleuth of bots all ready to go through black box, I'm just going to probably stop trading altogether and just have my long swing trades and position trades on. But then for all my day trading, I just want it all automated. Tone, how are you, mate? What are you seeing in the markets?
All right, I'm good. Let's go and take a look at the markets. All right, so here's the weekly chart. The weekly chart still seems okay. I'm not going to say it's super strong. And all the action's been happening on the daily chart. So that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to wait till the end of the week to comment on the weekly scale. I would like to see this candle close closer to being a green candle like we were when we did the show yesterday. And I'll get to that in a minute. I'm not sure why nothing is pulling up over here. This is the allocation chart. This is the 4-day chart. There we go. And it's in a little bit of trouble, but again, as long as we are holding the long-term moving average, I'm not all that concerned. I do want to see this particular candle get turned around. This candle just started. We still have 3.5 days to go. So as long as this candle turns green on the 4.5 days, everything will be fine on that chart as well. So it's the daily chart that is the really critical one. At this point, it would be nice to get to an MRI buy situation. In order to get that MRI buy, we will need to trade lower than $67,000. Hopefully, we do that later this week and find that low around the 50-period moving average, around this horizontal support line. We continue this super consolidation. It is now in its third month. I don't think it's going to go past 4 months. And the really frustrating part was that yesterday's S&P candle was massively long. Huge bullish candle on the S&P with the FOMC. Bitcoin yesterday pulled back a lot. And that's the really, really annoying part, is that the S&P is running away to new highs, as predicted on this channel by me constantly. That S&P is just going to keep crushing it. But Bitcoin is just stuck. S&P has been making new highs for a month consistently. And Bitcoin has not broken its high, its March high. S&P breaks its March high in mid-May, and it never looked back. It just had a couple of days below that high. Bitcoin never even broke the high. It is just super annoying. We're also witnessing massive buying by the ETFs barely move the price, and minor selling by the ETFs completely crash the price. I think this relationship will eventually not hold, but we don't know when that is. It can last another month, it can last another 2 months, but eventually Bitcoin will break out above 70 with a vengeance, and it's going to go from 70 to 90 in the blink of an eye. Now, before we get there, it's possible Bitcoin takes a bit of a dip. I don't really see a big dip in the cards. It's possible based on how sensitive Bitcoin is to any kind of selling by the ETFs. But at this point, my worst case scenario at the moment is just 65,000, the 128-day moving average. The same moving average we almost touched back in early May when we fell all the way to 56. Now that same moving average is sitting at 65. If we break that moving average, things get very ugly and very scary back to 56, which is the 200-day moving average. But that puts us at a $56,000 bottom, to which I would be concerned that significantly lower prices are possible. At the moment, I don't think that's in the cards. At the moment, just based on the cycle and where we are, I think it's another month of consolidation and then we rise. We may not rise very quickly, we may not stay there, but I do think this purple path is the more likely path as we're following it perfectly. We've already gone a little far without any kind of rise to follow the blue path, but the green path is still possible. Now, the green path got going a little bit later, but it got going a lot stronger than the purple. Purple is the last path we took. The green is the one before that. Short-term chart, of course, tops on the MRI top. That was the 1 hour, and the 4 hour. Uh, it's hard to explain this down candle, this big trash candle, considering how,
Twin Towers candles pattern.
yeah, the speculative markets on the S&P. This was in the middle of the Jerome Powell speech, in the middle of the Fed rate announcement, and of course they didn't raise rates. And this drop was completely unexpected by me because I figured since the stock markets are holding and everything seems to be okay in speculative asset world, there was no reason for Bitcoin to take a big dip. It took a big dip. It's still holding the lows that we had yesterday morning, and it doesn't look good. I wouldn't be rushing into crazy long trades right now. I would stay patient. I am staying patient. I would wait until a daily green star candle shows up, ideally above all the moving averages. The fact that the moving averages are bunching up here is good. When that happens, it tends to be good. We saw it over here when the moving averages kind of caught up, and then we broke out. So not much to say really. I'd stay patient with a bullish
Can you stay there?
bias.
So can you stay on that the post Bitcoin halving chart where you've got all the yeah, that one for a second. I just want to say something. I there was a comment made like 3 or 4 days ago, a negative comment, but I took a lot from it because it made me really laugh. They said, I hate watching Matt, and that's fair enough, that's fine. Because he's a perma bull, right? Now, anyone who's been watching me has probably only been watching me at maximum about a year and a half. Go look at the Bitcoin charts for the last year and a half, and it's almost vertical. Why would I not be a perma bull throughout that period? I haven't been a perma bull the 2 years, well, the year prior to that, I was negative as Nancy. So, and then a few years before that, it was perma bull stuff as well because the markets went straight up. So, pump the brakes on that perma bull stuff. Look at this. Look at this. What Tone's shown you here with 4 cycles post halving. This is why I'm going to be if you hate perma bulls, I'm going to be a perma bull for the next at least 2 years, guys. It's a lock that I'm going to be perma bull stuff. If we drop down to 56, if we drop down to 46, 36, 26.
I think Matt froze.
At this point is to buy the dip at this point, like facing what historically we're looking at here with the ETFs coming in. I think the future is bright for Bitcoin in the next at least 2 years here to run on. So I'm going to be very bullish. Tone, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. The law was made back in around November of last year. The this is the last,
The year
these
before.
last. Oh
The
yeah,
year
it was even
before.
the year before. You're right. Sorry. The lows were made back in 22. We've been rising for quite a while, and I think we'll continue to rise another year. So I don't think there's a big reason to be bearish at any point. I mean, there's cautionary levels, but yeah, being a perma bull in this environment is perfectly valid.
Awesome.
Not much else to say. I already commented. Gold looks very weak. The S&P looks super strong. I'm waiting for us to get to the top of this channel. Top of this channel is about another 1,000 on the S&P, 6,300. I think we can get there next year. Even this year we can get there. It depends on how the election goes. And the US is about to get very interesting. Yeah, there's not much else to say.
How does
So
Ethereum BTC look at the moment?
wasn't
Is
looking good last time I saw it. Yeah, this is the monthly chart, and Ethereum's not doing well.
to be expected?
It got rejected by the trend line. I can, straighten this trend line out a smidge, like that. Got rejected by the trend line, had a doji candle, and man, if Ethereum goes to new lows right here, I'm gonna move this line over. If Ethereum spikes to new lows, that is a big problem for Ethereum. It couldn't even reach its major trend line. It's stuck under a minor trend line. Ethereum breaks this low. Ethereum's got a shot at all-time lows. It's not looking good. And these other coins, Monero's been rising for the last couple of months. I don't know how long that would last. And Litecoin has not. Wow, it's close to my 80% prediction. Look at that. The post-halving prediction. We are, man, talking about a dead shitcoin. It's already down 63%. I can't believe there are people that still believe in Litecoin. This is insane. Absolutely
I've
insane.
never met I've never met anybody that's likes Litecoin.
Wow. Wow. I think when Litecoin dies, people might get it. Why all altcoins are shitcoins. But we still have a few, like BNB is still kicking and Solana is still kicking, though not for long. If Solana breaks like some of these lows, it's in serious trouble. But yeah, they're all pretty much dying. There's your Cardano, new lows. They're all pretty much dying.
I think the exchange coins will continue to do well because at least they have a business that generates revenue, huge revenue, do you know? Like if you look at even like BitGet's coin, BG, there it is right there, BitGet's coin. It looks rampaging.
Yeah, because they have a business, right? It's the same
That's what I
BNB
mean. Yeah.
model.
Same, right.
Right, but if the SEC shows up and arrests the CEO for having a
Right.
security, then,
Right.
who's going to maintain it?
Nobody.
Like, people don't understand that there are risks involved with all of these. And the risks are both regulatory, technological, and speculative. All three risks. It's unlikely Solana is going to get an ETF. There is no CME futures for Solana. And when Ethereum collapses and implodes, people will realize that having an ETF and CME futures on Ethereum was a mistake. So I think I'm waiting for that day, and then there won't be any more shitcoin. No one's going to talk about shitcoins in traditional markets once Ethereum goes belly up, and eventually Ethereum's going belly up.
So
All right.
did you read Michael Lewis's The Going Infinite, the Sam Bankman fraud book that he released maybe last year?
No, that would not be enjoyable for me.
Oh, Michael Lewis is the man. He's got all the good books from the 80s and 90s. Michael Lewis is my favorite author, probably. He's the big he wrote The Big Short and Moneyball and The Blind Side but like all the good trading books are from Michael Lewis. This I didn't like Going Infinite at all, but it was just incredible to see how FTX was actually managed and run. It's just insane. He was there when the SEC and that were knocking on the door. He was over there in wherever they were. It's crazy. And he was writing a book about them. The one of the most famous authors in the world for writing these kind of
Right.
books. He was on site when the shit hit the fan. It was crazy. Great insight.
Yeah, it's actually great. Um, well, it depends on which book he's writing, right? Like if he could have been writing the book about how great FTX is, and suddenly the SEC shows up and arrests them all. Uh, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So but you've heard of Liar's Poker, right? Liar's Poker is his first
I
book,
have.
and absolutely
Yeah.
it's his best. That's unbelievable. Michael Lewis, it's
Hmm.
the man. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. It's about the bond market. Yep.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
All right. on this note, we're gonna get going. There'll probably be could be a Twitter space tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is a travel day for me, but it's later in the day, so the show will come as normal. Shout out to those at Bitcoin Prague. I think everybody's there. I'm like the only one that's missing. So hope everybody has fun. And yeah, see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.
See you guys.